You have not gone and study about him. You have heard about Kong Hee. Maybe you have not gone and study about him. You are going to bear God's banner to the continent of Asia, starting with your own territory. And that's why the hand of God is coming upon you. Now, if you don't have a discipleship machinery, the process dimension of this whole thing, you have input, but you don't have process. People are not being processed into ministry and leadership. You are undermining Christ's mission. Such pastors like to be the one man. You see how I've been begging Pastor Brian for the last 2 years. I said every camp meeting he has to preach, or Pastor Todd. I said because this African accent is not good enough. We need a balance. I need a Canadian and American accent to balance it. Because this is going to grow. Very soon now when you come here, every country on earth will be represented here. Between the last time you were here, last year and now, we have entered so many nations. Egypt, Oman, different countries. Of course, that meeting will not be taking place here. This place is too small. I told you last night, from next camp meeting, it's going to be carried live to all the corners of the earth. So that people can be everywhere in the world and hooking into camp meeting. The last purpose of the church is ministry. So discipleship does not end on itself. It must lead to deployment. Ministry is deployment. After you are trained, you have to go and start doing something. You don't get training and sit down. Something in the kingdom will start working against you. Because with knowledge comes responsibility. Bible said those that know will be judged by higher standards. That means God expects you to practice what you have learned, but you sit on it. But then, according to the way the spiritual world works, the kingdom of darkness start firing heavier bullets at you because they expect that you can defend it. The Bible says, whenever a man hears the word of the kingdom, then cometh the devil. Revelation attracts Satan. Let me give you an example. Jesus was baptized by John. And the word came from heaven saying, this is my beloved son with whom I'm well pleased. Next, after that, the devil shows up. And war started. For 40 days, there were conflicts in the spiritual world in his life. And he defeated Satan because he kept using the word. It is written. It is written. If you get revelation and sit on it, the first thing that happens is that Satan will come and steal it. Then he brings attack and you don't have anything to withstand him because you've forgotten what you are taught. To be combatant ready, you have to be in practice. You have to be the soldier that goes for training every day. You have to have a prayer life. You have to be winning souls. You have to be involved in ministry. When you are not involved, your spiritual energy lacks. Your muscles start growing weak. The things of God. Because at that level, you should have people that you are reaching and people you are ministering to. After receiving this camp meeting, you should leave here and take a minimum of 12 people. I'm talking to everybody generally. 12 people. And groom them for God this year. Even if it's just what you have collected in camp meeting that you're going to transfer, plus all the tapes and books that are available. Just this book called the Law of Reflection, you can preach it to the end of this year. The last purpose of the church is deployment, ministry. That is what God had in mind when he imputed you into the kingdom, when he saved you, so that you will go and manifest what he has called you to do in the earth. And the church system must start from that input and lead you there. That's why this ministry branded our mission as raising leaders to go and change society or change the world. God specified the type of leaders to raise. Not every type of. He said kings and priests. Change agents. Change agents. I'm talking about the law of reflection. In Matthew chapter 6, the Lord's Prayer, Jesus reveals what we call God's value system. God's value system. And he reveals 7 principles of answered prayer minimum. There could be more. And he reveals 7 scale of preferences in God's value system. I'm not dealing with all of that. But the number one thing he reveals there is that the number one thing on the mind of God is his glory. The number one thing on God's mind is his glory. His holy name. And this is how Jesus said it. After this manner pray you, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Everyone lift your hands. Say, Heavenly Father, let your name be hallowed. That is the number one topic you should be praying about that we don't pray about. This is one prayer God answers more than any other thing, and that's one prayer the church don't pray. Lift your hand one more time. Say, Heavenly Father, glorify your name.